Hello once again everyone, it's Stevo here, aka the Running Englishman, who's simply here to inspire you to be the best and fittest version of yourself. If I can do it, then I think that you can too. So thinking about today's video this morning, I've had to have a few days off this week from my runs because of a bad ankle, it wasn't running related as far as I know, but that's eased off and I got running today. Then I thought about an injury that I've had years ago that I've never even touched on to talk about with you. It's about my knees and how bad they are, and I'm not here to talk about my bad knees. I'm here to talk about what I've learned through the couple of years of running that's enabled me to run as much as I do without my knees actually hurting. So hopefully some of the advice that I can give can be helpful to you. So bear with me, and now I'm back in 2 seconds. I'm going to go through it with you. See you in a sec. Right, so as I just mentioned a moment ago, I've got what they call in England dodgy knees. If you don't know what that means they don't work brilliantly. They've been injured in the past and they're pretty vulnerable to probably going again sometime. But I'll just quickly talk about what I've done to them. It won't be long. I was playing football about 12, 13 years ago on a Sunday morning, probably hungover. I was running back with the ball and I twisted and I heard my knee go, a massive pop in my knee. So I kind of guessed what had happened, but inevitably ended up in hospital where they broke the news that I had ruptured my ACL. So yeah, that was very painful. Ended up having to have an operation where they take a piece of your hamstring from the same leg and they screw in to create a new ligament out of your own muscle. So that was that fixed. I've done a bit of rehab on that. I didn't really get into playing again because it had a tendency to go and click quite a lot. So I had a similar issue with my left knee. That one ended up just being a tear, which have never been mended, but I assume that's fully recovered, but I'm unsure on that. So as far as I know, my knees aren't in brilliant condition. But I just wanted to go over a few things that I've learned over just a couple of years of running that has enabled me to be able to run with these dodgy knees without them actually being in pain at all. So I want to quickly go over that with you now. Okay, so when I was going to take up running, I thought I'd do a little bit looking into it first and try and see how to run properly. I mean, anyone could just throw shoes on and just run. I wanted to just learn, because there is actually a proper way to do it, and I'm going to just speak about what I've put into my running to make me run pain-free. Feel free, you can disagree with me if you like, and all that. I'm just going to put out there what works for me. Okay, so the first thing that I learned, and what everyone probably knows already, is how you strike your foot. So you want to be landing on your midfoot to your forefoot. You do not want to be heel striking the floor on the way. Not only does it slow you down when you're running, but every single step you take, if you're using a heel strike, you are sending shocks up your legs, all the way up to your knees, up to your hips, and you are going to feel it. Eventually that's going to catch up with you and you're going to be more injured than what you actually need to be. So land your foot at least halfway up to your foot and towards the front a bit more. Try not to go too far tiptoed, because you're gonna know about that in your calves as well. So just try and find the perfect balance for you, just about halfway of your foot and a little bit forward from there. The next thing you want to work on is cadence. There's a bit of a golden number to get through for cadence. If you can get between sort of 170 and 180, or even a little bit higher than that, I mean, it doesn't work for everyone, but 170 to 180 seems to be a very good average to hit. I worked on that and I've managed to get that, whether I'm trying to run fast or whether I'm running slower doing this low heart rate training. That seems to be a good number cadence to aim for. So it's all about getting a bit faster turnover. And I hear quite a lot the term of just bouncing through. I don't know what it is, but I don't like the terminology for that, just bouncing through your run. Something just, I don't sit right with me there. I feel like bouncing just sounds like it's wasting a lot of energy. Just think of bouncing, if you're bouncing a tennis ball forward, it bounces high, then eventually it sort of bounces to a stop. Where if you're trying to get a high cadence and you're forward, sort of leaning forward with a a 4-foot strike as well, you're getting a nice flow. It feels less like a bouncy ball, more like a bike, sort of pedaling like that, and a flow around a wheel. I don't know why, it's just what I think of there. Bouncing sounds like a lot of energy wasted. Flowing sort of like a bike sounds like you can just do that all day long. That's what I found works best for me. It just feels more natural. Try and make it as natural feeling as you can. So try and find like the center of gravity underneath you. Think you're upright. Try and imagine you're being pulled along from your chest by a rope that's in the sky. It's pulling you forward. Your shoulders are out. Your head is looking straight forward into the horizon. Your feet are landing underneath yourself rather than too far forward where you're putting the brakes on. Everything's just running in this sort of smooth motion. So you're slightly leaning forward, and your feet are just landing just underneath yourselves, in line with your hips, in line with your shoulders and everything. So everything just feels completely natural. So with your arms, you want to get quite a full motion on your arms. Don't tense up, everything feels relaxed. Your neck, your shoulders are relaxed and just sort of perk back. Even your fists, you don't clench your fists. You hold your fists like you are holding a handful of crisps that you want to eat when you get home. You don't want to drop any, but you don't want to crush them either. It's a funny terminology, but that seems to work for me. So your hands are fairly loose, holding that, and you're swinging, and your arms are taking the motion forward. Your arms are the anchors for the forward motion. So then everything just feels relaxed and effortless, really. Once you've worked on those odd little bits, just work at one thing at a time. Try and get your cadence up where you can. I know it's hard when you're doing the Maffetone method, or sort of running slower, or if you're just starting out. But try and work on your cadence, do some cadence drills, try and get that up, try and get everything running smoothly, and that is going to take all the pressure off your legs. Eventually they'll just work automatically and you won't feel any pain in your legs or your feet until you get to sort of real high mileage, sort of in a marathon. But yeah, the more natural you can get it, the better it's going to feel. And also, as you get later into a race as well, a lot of people tire themselves out or maybe get injured a bit later when you're feeling like you're going to start to shuffle, your legs are getting a bit tireder. Just really concentrate on your heel that's going back is flicking up and forward. If your heel is flicking up at the back, then it's going to drive your knee forward on each one. But as soon as you start letting your heels just go above the floor, is when you're going to start shuffling, make it all hard work for yourself, and eventually it's not going to end brilliantly for you. Okay, the last couple of things that's going to help you to run with your dodgy knees or some injuries like that is to buy some quality shoes. I don't think running is not a good sport to be skimping out on gear. I don't think to buy a good pair of shoes is going to do your body a favour over as long as they last, really. So try and get yourself a decent pair. I got some Nike Pegasus 37s. They're the best shoes I've ever had. They feel great. I'm probably going to stick with them for a little while. And it's just taking any sort of aches out of my calves, anything like that. It's just the perfect amount of support. But find the right shoe for you that fits well, so enough space at the toe box and stuff like that. And just find a good fitting pair of shoes. And one last thing is to find some grass. I used to do all my runs on the pavement all the time around my streets now. But now I found some routes where I can hit a field, even if it's just for 5 or 10 minutes of it, just a little break for your legs, pounding on the pavement to hit a nice field, and that just takes away a bit of just gives you a bit of cushion underfoot to save yourself some extra aches that you don't need to get. So pick a nice route, pick some fields in there as well, just some nice flat grass or mud, and just give your body a break. All right, and that's about it for that, really. If I've missed anything, give me a shout. If you think I should change anything, I probably won't, because I feel like I've got it right for myself. It might be different for everyone else. And I can't guarantee that will get rid of runner's knee and some different injuries. Like I say, I haven't encountered them yet, so I won't know how to deal with them. But that's what I call myself to having pretty bad knees, and I've managed to run all these times without getting any pain in them. So it works for me. So find out what works for you. Just bought this nice little running logbook, my first ever. I feel like I'm probably getting into it now. So yeah, I'm going to write down each day or each run that I've done. I feel like I'm starting a new chapter now with just this MAF running and different mileage and all that, and I'm really starting to hopefully get on top of it now and try and move myself downwards. So yeah, if you like what you've seen today, think about hitting the subscribe button. You know, if you're a beginner or an advanced runner even, you know, you tell me what to do. You pass any info on to me, I'll pass any knowledge I know on to you like I have today. So, and you know, we can learn to be better runners together. So why not? So thank you very much for joining me, and I'll speak to you next time. All right, Stevo.